ever since he came in to Buffalo in 2017, you can really look back at, how we built, to get to where we are right now. Just continuing to build and Sean always talking about the Kaizen mindset of just, continuing to get better. And so this is the mindset of the guys on this football team. It's the type of guys that they bring in to this building, guys that just want to continue to get better and work extremely hard. That's just the way we're built.
Definitely. Thank you. Good luck this week.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Jordan.
How you doing, Vic?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thank you for doing this. Jordan, I want to follow up a little bit off the previous question you got from Dante to the extent that when you're putting one year over the other, exact same records at this point, but obviously things are different. In your view, how do you see this as maybe a better team than the one you had at this very same point a year ago, if that's the case?
Yeah, obviously, I think a year, 2 or 3 in any system is going to help. But just like I said, earlier, just continuing to get better. Guys on this team were put in situations last year that kind of similar situation this year. Obviously, that mistakes that we can learn from last year, whether that's middle of the season. Especially the taste that we had at the end of the season, losing to Houston. So, just building off of that, and I don't want to compare teams or nothing. We know we're a good football team, and so, just like I said earlier, just continue to get better.
And for you individually, and I know the defensive numbers aren't what you guys want them to be from what they were a year ago too, but you individually, it looks like you've been playing at a really high level. Your assessment of what your game has been like through 11 games?
Yeah, made some mistakes here and there, and that's football. I feel like this being my 4th year in this system, I feel pretty confident and comfortable. Not comfortable, but just comfortable within the defense. Obviously, continue just wanting to get better. There's a lot of things that I can continue to work on. But I think just like I said, just continuing to get better. I just want to play the best football that I can be and be the best version of myself.
Can you give just one of the best version of it you've kind of focused on? I know you said it's a lot of different things, but is there any one in particular you focused on, Jordan?
I want to tackle better. I obviously want to make more plays on the football. Just a couple technique things wise, as far as whether I'm coming down in man coverage or I'm coming down in zone coverage. There's every athlete has things he can work on. Me specifically, I know the areas that I need to improve on, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue to improve.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Jordan, how are you?
What's up, Josh?
Hey, a chance, decent, maybe good chance that Matt Milano's back on the field for Monday. What does he mean for your defense?
Yeah, man. Key part of our defense has been a key part of our defense these past 3-4 years. Him back on the football field, just a playmaker back on the field, able to, create havoc and make plays. And so, it'd be huge to get Matt back.
Tremaine Edmonds looks like he's finally healthy. Secondary looks like you guys are as healthy as you've been all year. Milano's back. You hear you guys a lot of times talk about through the season, say the key is to be playing your best ball December going into January. You feel like you guys are set up right now to be doing exactly that?
Yeah, like I said, just continuing to get better. You do want to be playing your best football in late December, in December football, and so that just comes down to everyday habits. Continue to work, continue to trust trust the process. I know it's cliche, but that's just what we have to do. It's a crucial time of the year, and every day counts, and you gotta think like that. You gotta come in the building with that mindset.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, see you, Josh.
Jordan, John Worrell.
How you doing, John?
Good, you?
I'm good.
Good. I guess this might be a theme of the questions, but I'm going to ask it a little bit of a different way. Given the fact that you didn't have much of an offseason and there were some key significant changes to the front of the defense, how much do you feel that there was a searching out process in the early going, which reflected in some of the numbers? and that you guys are finally figuring out how to work as a unit, as to being a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more, finding a more of an aggressive approach as you've worked your way through the season. Is it fair to see it that way?
Yeah, and I, that's just not with the Buffalo Bills. You look around the league, that's kind of been the trend throughout the league. Guys going down early. Whether it's injuries from not being able to practice throughout the all off season, or whether it's the COVID, guys not being able to play and having to make adjustments. And I think early on, a lot of teams, a lot of defenses were trying to find their identity, and with all the injuries or whatever you want to call it, not being able to do so because they didn't have all the other pieces out on the football field. So, hold on, let me let this one go. But I definitely think, like I said, just continue to get better, continue to trust in our defense, trust in each other. All 11 guys out there on the football field, and like I said, we want to continue to play our best football in December.
Because are you finally getting the sense that you guys are feeling are back to your old selves in some ways?
You never want to say, John, you're there or you're at the top or anything like that, because once you're there, then your head gets big and it's easy to knock you down. So like I said, just continue. That's my motto today. If you haven't heard, just continue to get better, man. Because once you feel comfortable at the top, then you're gonna get a real rude awakening real quick. So we gotta stay hungry and stay humble and continue to get better.
Last thing from me is, I hate to point it out, but you're going back to Arizona. You're not playing the Cardinals, but it's what people call the scene of the crime. Any lingering memories when you get back into that stadium?
Not at all. I'm going there to play football game.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, Jenna Cottrell. I know the 49ers have dealt with a lot of injuries, but their offense, they're coming off a win, obviously a talented team. Like, what do you make of Nick Mullins and then also their rushing attack?
Yeah, extremely smart, smart quarterback. You like to see him as a game manager. He manages the game extremely well. And Coach Shanahan is one of the I think one of the best coaches in the NFL, as far as his play calling. And so, I had a chance to play with Shanahan in Cleveland. And obviously, just the window dressing and all the stuff behind the line of scrimmage, it makes it extremely hard for defenses to really, they're going to come in and try to run the football. So, they make it hard for defenses as far as, a lot of smoke and mirrors behind the line of scrimmage. So we're going to have to be right on our keys.
And then also, more primetime games this month. Does this team, is it still a big deal for you guys to be in that primetime spotlight? Does it still the same nerves, or how do you guys feel as a group approaching, more?
We're one day at a time, man. We'll play wherever they tell us to play. I think, obviously it's cool to have primetime games, national televised games. But we're coming to play football, man, and handle business. So, there's no bigger game or bigger spotlights. Football game at the end of the day, and that's what we're coming to do.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, Jordan, it's Mark Gaughan from the Buffalo News. Because you go every Wednesday, you tend to be our comment on the opponent guy. So thanks for your perspective.
Yeah.
Just to follow up on her comment on the run game, the way the question is it harder for secondary sometimes against them to be in your run fit because they add blockers, with the way they move? The fullback kicks out on the edge. They got a jet sweeper. You're identifying your gap? They make you identify your gap after the snap. And is that hard? Do you agree with that? And is that,
how hard is that? I agree with that. And it is hard. And your gap might be in front of you. They whether they motion or they jet, your gap is going. Now you got to go to the next gap, and then they might bring someone back to you to where now your gap's the same gap that you were. So it's going to be a lot of film study, a lot of getting together with the guys, watching the tape, because this is a good offense, and they're a hungry football team. You just saw the win that they had against the Rams, and the Rams is a good football team, and so. You want to, got to come in with that mindset. This is a hungry football team, and they're going to come in and try to run the football, and we got to be prepared for that.
Thanks again, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, it's John. I apologize if you've been asked today. You touched on Kyle Shanahan earlier. Is he doing the same stuff you saw him do as a coordinator in Cleveland, or has he even evolved and advanced his offensive things since?
Yeah, I think he's doing a lot of similar things that, from what I remember in Cleveland, I had a discussion with one of the coaches with Bobby. I was in Cleveland with Bobby, and we were talking earlier this morning that he's running a lot of same style of plays. Obviously, he put a couple new wrinkles in there with the type of players that he has, and so like I said, really good play caller, really smart play caller. Got a lot of respect for him, and he's got some good players too. So. Yeah, he's a real deal.
What is it that he does? Because as the injuries have been, we've talked about that, but he's had a lot of different teams, a lot of different players, but the success has pretty much maintained the same. What does he do that almost makes his system universally successful?
Yeah, I mean, you'll get say they got 21 personnel on the field. They'll come out in a 21 personnel and give you an 11 look. Basically, 2 running backs on the field, 1 tight end, and they'll come out on the field and make it look like it's 1 running back and 1 tight end, and give you a spread out formation. So, their fullback, he lines up everywhere. And he lines up at X, he lines up at tight end, he lines up at fullback. And so just the way he's able to move a bunch of pieces and kind of make it seem, the same in a sense, but different. It's a really good offense.
Thanks a lot, Jordan.
Yep.
All right, Jordan, that's all we got for